So I had a really interesting experience again this week, which I have them all the time, but this one was I had some legal paperwork that I needed to get filed in a court case. And I had just gotten a nasal operation here, nasal procedure here, and I got out of that and I'm like bleeding like crazy. So this is just like blood everywhere, all over. And I all of a sudden, this is a Friday and I need to get this filing at the court by the time it closes. So I'm crashing through real quick, and then my printer's printing out green ink, and it's had to start over, and it's just, I'm hysterical, which of course is causing me to probably bleed more. But anyway, so I'm thinking I gotta get this done as soon as I can. And I said, all right, Rick, let's run over and we'll mail it to the attorneys, and then I can run over to the court and then file that. But in the mailing that I send to the attorneys, I say that I filed it today. Well, I mean that day on Friday. So we go do that, and then we go running over to the court, which my little GPS thing says we're going to be there in 2 minutes. It closes at 5, and we're going to be there at 4:58 or something. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if we're going to make it, but if we can get in the door. But like, the other problem was that I'm bleeding to death, so I can't go walking in there. I got to tell him what to do, and he doesn't even have a clue. Anyway, so we're driving and driving, and we hit every red light. We never hit red lights. We hit every red light on the way. I just couldn't understand what was going on. Why are we being blocked to be able to go over and put this, get this thing filed? So we get over there, and we pull up there right at just 30 seconds before 5, and before you can even get out of the car, they lock the door. And then you just go, well, we're not going to do it today. And there's some reason, I don't know. So then I said, okay, then we can do it on Monday. So I go home and I go over the paperwork, and I realized there's about 7 corrections that need to be made. There was an email that wasn't in there. Dates were wrong. The correct dates need to be going there, and my name was wrong in certain places. Anyway, it was 7 things that needed to be changed. And then I go, oh, that's why we hit every red light. We were not supposed to file that at the court that day. I needed to go on Monday after I had spent the weekend putting in and getting all the correct thing. So just understand, you think you really have to do it, and sometimes, and you're praying and praying that you're going to make it there on time, and got to know that all your prayers are answered, and sometimes the answer is no. That's because it wasn't right, and you weren't supposed to do that. So when something like that comes up and stops you, what you think you really need to be doing, and you're so upset about it, that just go. There's a reason that happened, and there's some other thing that you're not recognizing what it's about, and then pretty soon you're going to find out and then realize that you were really protected in the fact that you couldn't go get that thing filed on time because it had to have these corrections in it. So anyway, everything always works out perfectly if you just pay attention and be aware of what you're being told to do and not to do. And that's anyway. So thanks for tuning in to my nonstop aha moments, and check out my other YouTube channel, which is Tips from a 78-year-old teenager. And thanks for tuning in.